Hey, what is up, guys? I am Hippie, and I want to welcome you back to the HippieSnuggles podcast. I don't know what episode this is. We always say we're going to do one of these once a month, don't we?
Yep, but we never do.
But then, like, 4 months go by, and I mean, the last podcast we had, Alan was on, and I think, like, we just, like, yeah, we're going to do another podcast next month. 4 months later, we're finally getting around to another one. But
our months
we
are
have
very
a
long.
good reason to do one today. Because when this podcast comes out, it's going to come out on... Is it going to come out on the 26th or the 27th? All right. 26th of January, this is going to come out. And as of that, me and Bree will have known each other for a year already. We wouldn't have been dating for a year quite yet.
Best friends
but we would
forever.
have known each other for a year. So we're going to have this, I guess...
What am I doing?
I don't know. I'm
peas.
pretty
Oh
excited
my gosh,
for this.
I should be eating.
Are you eating peas? Don't you eat peas during our podcast? But luckily, with your new pop filter, they won't even hear those peas. So we're gonna be hanging out, and we're gonna be talking about how we met.
Yeah.
How we went through becoming just random acquaintance
Best
that we met
friends
on
forever.
game, to friends, to best friends, and then
Best
into
friends
girlfriend and boyfriend.
Oh my gosh, it's like
And then
Roblox.
her my future wife. So we're gonna get into it. We're gonna hang out, and we're gonna be talking about stuff, and
like how you're a big cheese ball.
go through it slowly. Don't you call me a cheese ball? We're gonna talk briefly on where we were and what was happening before we met,
I'm gonna make.
to give you guys a bit of an idea, and then we'll go into it as we go. What are you gonna make?
I'm gonna make you as chill as possible. The chillest you've ever been on YouTube. Like
Chillest
as
I've
if
ever been
we
on
weren't
YouTube.
recording. Okay.
Not even going to be recording. Just going to be kind of talking, just acting as if we weren't recording, and then we're going to record it and put it up. I know, it's weird.
That was
It's
weird.
like that might be illegal. So, before I met you, I had been doing YouTube for about a year and a half or so.
Mm-hmm.
And I was starting to get kind of tired of it.
Yeah.
Like, I was losing my inspiration for
I'm eating
YouTube.
corn.
I wasn't uploading as much. I went from a strict schedule of like 5 videos a week for a year and a half to going a week to 2 weeks without uploading. My videos were just really bland and poorly edited. I didn't do thumbnails at the time, and I was just getting kind of tired of YouTube and was on the verge of making that final video and announcing that I was leaving and stuff. And then I met you, and then some stuff had changed around. So what about you? What were you doing before we met?
I was in a relationship with Timmy Jimmy,
Jimmy.
and
Yep.
it was already like ending at that point. It was just hellish. I shouldn't say it because we could have some Timmy Jimmy fans in here, and it could go bad.
You should be fine to talk about it, though. As long as you're comfortable that you can just talk about pretty much anything I think you want. I mean, we're not going to use their real name or anything.
Timmy Jimmy was a bad Jimmy, and I didn't like
Bad
him.
Jimmy.
So
Didn't like that Jimmy.
and then I don't know when we like before we met, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
What?
just like the... I'm thinking probably like a month or 2 months before we met. That's the era I'm thinking of right now.
I was. Oh, okay. We'll talk about this later on in the podcast.
Yeah.
We're gonna have a specific.
Yeah.
For it.
Later on, we're going to go into depth, I guess, a bit more
But
about all
I
this stuff.
fell into like, I mean, it's hard to talk about it when. Okay,
I know.
Short story short, I was in a really bad time, and we'll talk about that more later. But I was just really a sad person, and I was in a really bad relationship with Timmy Jimmy, and I had a lot of friends. I had a huge group of friends and my ex-best friend, and I would just kind of like party and go to their place and just I felt like a junkie. So
Yeah.
and then that's where I was.
Yeah. And then we met.
And then we met, and then I like totally got sober.
And so some people will probably already know how we met if they've been on the channel for a long
Can
time
we talk
because
about it in some podcasts?
Yeah, we talk about it every now and again. But funny enough, how we met was kind of documented because I was doing YouTube and I was so busy with YouTube that everything that happened in my life was on YouTube.
Yeah.
And luckily enough, I met Bree because of YouTube.
Yeah.
So, um, I guess should we describe the event and how it was happening?
I have a confession, but yes.
Yeah.
When
Okay.
you were recording, I knew you were recording that. I
Right.
this is such a such a scummy thing to do, but I kept trying to be like in your face, to be
Yeah.
in the shot. I was like, I need to be in a hippie video. Like this guy, I've watched him for like years for his videos because I suck at quests, and then yeah, I just
Yeah.
really wanted to be in your face. Now I kind of understand why people always want to jump in her face because they
Yeah.
want to be. They'll take any. I relate to that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was in a call
Mhm.
with my friend Thump, Seb, Max, and about 4 or 5 of Max's friends. So it was this huge, hectic call. And then, should we talk about the reason we met? Would that be okay?
Yeah.
Or should we not do that? Okay. Basically, the Timmy Jimmy, the guy that Bree was with at the time, he bought me VIP Plus rank. And so I made a video on it to thank him. And I was in this huge call with all these people, so it was super hectic and super crazy. And because of everything that went down later, the video got taken down. But it was up for a while, and that's how me and Max had met Bree and Timmy Jimmy.
Mhm.
Um, and we didn't start talking immediately
You know
then.
who's a douchebag?
Well, I
and his name
suppose
is
we
Timmy
did.
Jimmy?
Yeah, Timmy Jimmy. You can't have a guy named Timmy Jimmy and not think something's up with him. But you guys did that, and then we were hanging out for a while, and I remember you just made such weird, crazy things that I was like, oh god, she's so weird. And then
It's so embarrassing.
we were
I
hanging
don't
out.
know how to
Oh,
keep my chill.
the other guy I remember who was there because of this
Oh,
was Jamer the gamer.
oh yeah.
And now that I'm thinking about it, it's actually making me remember what exactly was happening at the time. I was recording my first 1 through 100 leveling guide, the video that kind of like helped people find my channel. And Jamer was helping me find spots. And one of the spots that he loved was called the Pig Cave.
Oh yeah.
And it was outside Ragni. And so I was like, let's go there. And we all went there.
I
And
followed.
yeah, you guys came with us. And for some reason, you thought I was dating one of Max's friends.
Yeah.
I was like, no. I'm like, I barely even know them. And you're like, oh, okay. And at the end of that, I think Max was the one that asked for you guys' Skype.
Mhm.
And then we all added each other, and that was kind of it for a bit. And then about a week or so later, we're hanging out, and I think Max was maybe on his painkillers
Yeah.
from his ankle injury. And he was like, I can remember the quote. He's like, let's add these chumps to our call. I was like, oh, okay. And he added you guys. And I remember, like, the first thing you did was almost hyperventilate. I was like, oh my gosh, she's going to die. But then after that, you were, like, super chill and super laid back and really funny.
I
So what do you remember about that? Do you remember the actual day that
Yeah,
he was, like,
I do.
added you guys randomly?
Okay, because like I said, I watched you for a long time. Okay, this is a long story short, but I played Minecraft with a bunch of friends. They all left, and so it was just me, myself, and solo Snuggles. Okay.
Yeah.
So I had to do everything on my own, all quests and stuff. And so I was
Yeah.
like, I don't know how to do this. So I'd always like watch your nines. And so I don't know. Okay, I was like a huge fan, and I tried messaging you for it because I was like, oh, whatever,
Right.
and he
I
never.
feel so bad about that now.
And so, anyways,
Let's explain that real quick.
Okay.
You tried to message me to say
Yes.
hi before.
yes, I said, hey.
And I was
Snuggles.
either AFK or just I don't know, didn't see it or something, but you're like, you messaged me, you're like, hi, and stuff, and then I just never replied, and you're
Yeah.
like,
Oh, I
he's a
kind of,
jerk.
no, I didn't think that. I was like, he's a YouTuber. He probably gets. I didn't even think. I was like,
Oh,
whatever.
okay.
I'll just add this chump. And
Chump.
a long.
Yeah.
That was a long time ago. That was like even before I was in a relationship. I think.
Yeah.
But anyways, what was the question? Oh yeah, what the first call.
Yeah. Max adding you to
I
that
was
call kind of randomly.
like, I was in shock. Okay, I was
Yeah.
fangirling. Okay, but like, for the first months of even like knowing you, I was like, holy crap. Like sometimes I would zone off and I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, he's just hippie. Like he's just a great guy. He's a friend. And I'm like, wait, no, he's a YouTuber. Oh my gosh, I keep forgetting. Like your voice, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm talking to the guy that I watched Quest for so long. And then I thought I would never like get over that, but like I totally did. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. It's weird. But yeah, I was like I got over it quickly than I thought. Like
Yeah.
going crazy about you, because who wouldn't go crazy about you? But yeah. So that was.
But yeah, I feel like we kind of like, I don't know, I feel like we connected right away and we became friends right
Yeah,
away.
we talked
Um,
like that when we first started like
yeah,
private messaging
like we
each other.
came from getting in a call one time to talking every day,
Mhm.
like in messages, and then it got to being in a call every day,
Yeah.
and then it got to being in a call like all day eventually. But it kind of started off so like I just talked to you every day, and
I was so
um,
nervous to ask you to call.
yeah, you said you would ask like for a group call with
Yeah.
like me and Max and some other
Uh-huh.
people, and then you would eventually be like,
Do you
they'd all take
want
off, and then
to?
we'd hang out for a while and stuff.
Mhm.
Um, I find that really funny, but like you got me into stuff right away.
Mhm.
Like you were, like we were watching movies and shows and
Mhm.
stuff right away, and um, I remember one of the things that you would do when we first started talking was like, whenever I would say something that was relevant to a song you knew, you would start singing that song in chat, and then you would send me it. And like before I met you, I knew such little music. I knew
Mhm.
all old music, but now you got me into so many different bands like 21 Pilots
Yeah.
and
I also got you
Halsey
into
and all
anime
these people.
and
Right.
stuff.
Before that, I remember you were like, it was because as a group, we all watched One Punch Man one
Mhm.
night.
And
You were
then you
like, I
watched
think,
it
who
all.
was it that offered it?
I don't know.
One of you guys or Max was like,
Maybe
"Let's watch One Punch Man." I was
Timmy
like, "I don't even
Jimmy.
know what that is, but I'm down." I think I was just editing a video in the call, and we were watching One Punch Man, and I remember watching the first few scenes, and he just freaking destroys this big dude, and I just kind of closed my edit and started watching it,
Yeah,
and
you
then
watched it without us.
yeah, you guys left to go to sleep, and Max passed out in the call. That's what he would always do, is fall asleep in our calls. Um, and that night I watched 7 episodes. And then the next day I was like, I told you guys, I was like, how many episodes have you seen? You're like, we're on the last episode. And then I just started ranting about all the stuff that happened. And then I ended up watching the freaking final episode with Max before you even seen the final episode. And then we watched it with you after. Um, but it really got me into anime. You're like, what anime have you seen? I was like, oh, One Punch Man, an Avatar, a little bit of Pokemon. You're like, oh, okay, you gotta watch more anime. And then you freaking showed me things like Tokyo Ghoul.
Mhm.
And then we started watching, like, the crazy, like, weird ones, which are, like, romantic animes. Or I don't even know what genre those type
Which
ones are. But they're,
one?
like Say I Love You and the one
Oh.
with the just insane graphics. Do you
Mm.
remember which one I'm talking about? It just looks insane.
Oh, that was a
Like
movie.
3 meters at a time or
It
something.
was. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Why don't I know
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
Centimeters per second. 3 centimeters.
3 centimeters per
Something like
second,
that.
yeah.
6 centimeters. 4.
Yeah. And then we just watched like you showed me all the Ghibli movies, like
Mhm.
Totoro,
Spirit Away.
Spirited Away, and stuff like
Then we
that. All
watched
that
House
stuff.
Moving Castle later
I had
on.
no idea about any of that stuff. And then just like anime shows and just different things. And then right now we're on the progress of watching like
A bunch, actually.
4 or so, finishing up like 4 animes or something. So you really brought me into a lot of different stuff that I just wasn't into and didn't know about.
My bad, guys. I was a weeb. I am a weeb.
It's okay. So that first call we were in,
Yeah.
that turned into your first video
Yeah.
because I was like, we gotta go and record a quest guide, and you guys were like, oh, we gotta go do a quest anyway. I was like, oh, what quest you doing? You're like purple and blue. I'm like, that's the quest guide I need to make. You guys want to hang out in the call? And then you guys were in your first video, and there's one thing that I can remember about that video.
Yeah.
It was purple and blue. We also did Hunger of the Gerts 1
I know
after.
that.
But we did Purple and Blue and Hunger of the Gerts 1.
I got a 28 freaking XP on the hat and I lost.
You did. You got a max helmet. But that's not the thing that I remember.
Oh.
I remember going from my normal 3 to 5 minute edits because I was just like, I had everything planned out and it was all organized and done, to having to do like a 30-minute edit because you said some of the most outrageous stuff that I'd ever heard. And at the time, I didn't say any of that type of stuff on my channel. My channel was super clean back in the day. And I remember some of the quests, or some of the things you said. For instance, one of them was, I don't know if I edited this one out or left it in, Hunger the Gerts. It says, follow the blood trail. And then you quietly in the background, after I'm done, I'm like, all right, so we're going to follow his blood trail and see where it goes. And then you just quietly, hey guys, that's a good way to find girls. And I was just so like, I was like, oh my god, what? And
like a virgin to everything.
at the time, it was just like so shocking for me on YouTube, and I had to like edit all that type of stuff out. Now I just don't even care, and it just doesn't even
it's
faze
so
me 'cause I'm
normal
used
to
to
you
the
to
stuff
hear
you say.
that. Like if I
Yeah.
were to say that, you're like, you'd
You'd be
laugh.
like, oh,
and be
okay.
like,
I would
be
laugh,
like,
but I wouldn't really think anything of it.
yeah, you'd be like, okay. I don't even.
So I had to do like a lot more editing when you were in videos, but I was okay with it. It was funny, and I liked the videos a lot more when you were in them. Can you remember about the first videos you were in, or did you watch the videos with yourself in it, or what?
I would watch it and then I'd cringe because I remember doing your intro and it was.
Yeah, Hunger the Gerts too. You did your little anime voice for my intro.
It's just so cringe. I'm like, I was trying to be cute, of course.
I liked it. I liked it a lot, actually. So yeah, as we said earlier, we just kind of kept talking daily, and you were in a lot more videos, and you were just around a lot more, and I just talked to you a lot more. And at the time, we were both going through some really tough times, and we didn't really talk about that.
Does that bring us to our next topic?
I think that does.
Depression.
Depression. Do you want me to go first, or do you want to go first then?
You can.
All right. So I talked about it a tiny bit on YouTube before in the
had
past.
some videos on it, I think.
Yeah, I made like 2 or 3 videos about it in the past, but I had been dealing with really, really bad depression, on and off for about 9 years at the point. And I never really did anything about it. I didn't really tell anybody. I didn't really talk to my family about it. I didn't go to a doctor about it. I just kind of dealt with it. I had a knee injury that left me unable to walk for over a year. And when I finally could walk, like my back was so screwed up and my knee was so bad, and I was just basically handicapped, but not handicapped, if that makes sense. I couldn't move around, I couldn't walk, I couldn't do any of this type of stuff.
That happens when I blink, so I just die.
Yeah, I was just done for a year, and I got so depressed. I didn't leave my house for a year because I couldn't I couldn't go out and ride in a car even for 5-10 minutes sitting up straight. My back would just be in so much pain that you'd black out. So I was just broken, and because of that, I got severely depressed for years on end. And like I said, I didn't really talk to anybody about it. I didn't really tell anybody about it. I just kind of went on this grind mode where I don't know what it even was, maybe some type of coping mechanism or something, but I just picked up YouTube and I just went super, super hardcore and just kind of put everything away and pretended like it wasn't there, it wasn't happening. And eventually it just hit a breaking point, and luckily that was when I met Bree.
When you hit me.
Because
he's
when
abusive.
I started beating Bree, yeah. That was a good stress reliever, just
Just
abuse. But
punch in the. Okay.
when I met Bree was when I was hitting my breaking point. I was just like, at that point my knee was better, and my back was a bit better. I had gone through my own, I guess, physio type deal, but I was just severely depressed at that point. Um, and I was ready to quit YouTube, and I was just, I don't know, I was just done with everything at the time. And luckily, like I said, that's when I met Bree, and I had even gone to points where I had basically become an alcoholic when I met Bree.
Yeah,
I
that's
was pretty good
true.
at hiding it from YouTube and hiding it from people I knew, but my close friends online, people like Max and Bree and Jess and some of my real close friends knew, because at that point I was drinking probably pretty much every night. And then, like I said, I met Bree, and um, should I say that I would get drunk and flirt with you,
Yeah.
or should I not say that?
Yes. There
So
was. Okay. There was. It was cute, but it was also up and I remembered like specifically the night when you were drunk and you got really rude to me. And I
I
was
did.
like, all right, man, you gotta stop drinking. That was like when I had like the talk with you, the talk that
Yeah.
you need to like, yeah. And then,
Yeah.
but yeah, you would get drunk and you would flirt with me, and like, weren't you gonna give me like a stack of roses on Valentine's Day, and then you gave
Oh
it
my god.
to
Freaking
Wiggy Jiggy?
in game, Max was like getting Valentine's presents for somebody he knew, and I was like, I'm gonna get Valentine present for Bree. And he was like, "Is that a good idea? She's kind of got a boyfriend." I was like, "It's a great idea, Max." And I went and got like a stack of roses from the spider or whatever, and I was like, "This is gonna be great. I'll give them to her, and it'll be amazing. She'll love it." And then I was like sobered up the next morning, and I was like looking at my chat with Max, and I was like, what? I can't give a girl with a boyfriend roses. What am I doing? So I gave them to,
Wiggy
oh
Jiggy.
my god, I gave them to somebody we knew, Wiggy Jiggy, as a joke, and it kind of turned into not a joke and a
Not a
bad joke,
joke.
and then things just went down from there, and then that's turned into a problem after, and then, so do you want to talk about,
All right.
I guess, your side of things when we met?
I don't know how much I should talk about because it's super personal, and there's like I don't know if there's like witch hunters or like
Well,
trolls, because there is trolls on this channel. I know.
yeah.
Hey guys, I
I
love you.
suppose it's up to you. I
But
guess you got to talk about as much as you're comfortable with then.
okay. Well, for the basics, not to go incredibly into detail, but I've been on and off with depression and anxiety and bipolar, and to have it start, it goes just through my childhood because I move a lot because of financial problems, and it's just a lot of family stuff, which is extremely, I guess, personal. But the first part of when I really knew that I had something messed up in my brain and I was aware of it was when I got cyber schooled in 7th grade. I was 14, I think. I don't know how old I was in 7th grade. But I went to cyber school and I kind of just distanced myself from everything in public because, I don't go to school, I don't interact with people. And so I kind of just binged online, and I was online for a, like the majority of 7th grade up until now, even. So I don't know. It kind of shaped me to be like extremely antisocial, and
Yeah.
I kind of just being alone. You really learn about yourself, and I learned how that I. I don't know. Overthink. I'm overthinking right now, but I got really I really learned about myself growing up, and especially I think 15 was like my hitting point. I'm turning 17 like in May.
Yep.
Anyways, um I'm sorry, choked up. Um okay, so when I was 15, I went to a hospital because I wanted to kill myself, which is super personal, but hey, we're doing it.
But hey, we're doing it.
um And I don't know. It's just weird that because I can't really talk about it when I'm not like upset or whatever and not having anxiety
Yeah.
because I'm okay right now. But like, I don't know. It's like a switch from my mood swings, and you know more than enough about them. And so when I was dating Timmy Jimmy, that's his.
Timmy Jimmy.
Um, I guess there's certain people that trigger certain moods and certain
Yeah.
feelings, and Timmy Jimmy wasn't really a good companion for me because it really made me just. And so when I met you, I poured everything onto you, which I
Right.
do sometimes when I meet really good people that I trust. And so I poured it onto you, and I was like, I told you everything because I went to the hospital
Yeah.
twice for being suicidal and a lot of things, and that I have panic attacks and depressive episodes, and I've been through numerous counselors, therapy, and stuff. And when I met you, it's kind of like you're like a little pill, but not a pill. I don't want to be cheesy, okay, but
No, that's fine.
like I don't know. Even my parents say like that you're like extremely good for me because like there's a part of me when I'm in like like bipolar episodes or like just episodes in general, like mood swings, that when I get extremely angry for no reason and I take out my anger, and if I even take it out on you, like you're the chillest person that I've ever met. And so like I've never been with a person. This is so cheesy. I'm so sorry,
You're
guys.
fine. You're fine.
I
That's
take
what
out
this podcast is
I
for.
take out my sadness with humor. But when I met you, I don't know. It it really opened my mind up, and I just became a more laid back person. I used to cry myself every night when I was with that Timmy Jimmy, and I used to
Yep.
have panic attacks like 3 times a week, and I went to a hospital because of all the stuff that Timmy Jimmy made me feel, and I
Yeah.
was just with you, like I don't know, you're just really calming and you're really chill and you don't want to fight back and you don't want to punch my face. Just kidding. Just
Oh
kidding.
my gosh.
You're just
That's true. I don't, guys.
you're
I don't want
not
to punch her.
you're just no one knows this on this channel, and it's just I'm gonna tell you guys for you, even though you can't make me shut up. But Heap,
Cuts her mic.
no, is Heap, this guy that you watch on this YouTube channel. He's extremely down to earth, and he's extremely amazing, and he's funny, and he's awesome to listen to, and he has an amazing personality, and that's all. But yeah, so before I was dating you and before we met, I was extremely depressed, and I am still depressed. I have depression. I mean,
Right. Oh my
it's
gosh.
diagnosed. I'm gonna live with it all my
Right.
life. I'm gonna have anxiety all my life. I'm gonna have bipolar episodes all my life and be bipolar all my life. But there is so many good things that can help me cope with it, and that just happens to be you and filling yourself with happiness. But yeah.
Yeah. That's what I was just gonna mention because I don't know if I made it sound like when I met you it just like cured all my
Yeah.
depression and everything like that,
Yeah.
but that's not really how it works. I mean, it made it so much easier and so much better. But I mean, there's still days that we have bad days, and then we have depression, and it's just something we're gonna have to deal with. But I mean, it's tails end better than what it used to be before I met you. But I can remember all that stuff that you were talking about when you were pouring it on and when you were telling me everything, and that was like a few days after I met you.
Yeah.
And that just shows you how much we talked in those short few days, because we went through all of the small talk, all of the, oh, where do you live?
How
Oh, I
was your
I live
day?
here. That's cool. This. What do you like? What music do you like? In 4 days, we managed to talk about all that stuff and get from talking about, oh, you live in this state? Oh, that's cool. I live in this state. To jumping to deep depression and
really dark stuff.
dark stuff and stuff that you tell somebody maybe after months of knowing them. We got through that in about 4 days. And I can remember something really in particular, and I want to make sure you're okay with this. So if you're not, then I can cut it. But you went to the hospital one time
Yeah.
after we met.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah, that's from
Okay.
Timmy Jimmy. That's what I said in the.
You were trying to message me, and I was asleep
Mm-hmm.
or passed out or something. I can't remember.
Oh, this makes me want
But
to cry. Okay.
when I woke up, I missed your messages by about 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So it was you first trying to hang out and talk, and then you telling me that you were really depressed, and then you saying that you had to go to the hospital.
Yeah.
And you messaged Max the same thing. Or not, I guess not the same thing, but you told Max that you were going to the hospital.
Yeah.
And Max messaged me a bunch of stuff telling me that. And I remember that we waited up. I woke up and I got those messages, and me and Max hopped in a call, and we just listened to music, and we just sat and waited until you could message us. Because I was freaking out, and I was so worried, and Max was able to hang out with me until, like, I don't even know how long we waited. I don't even know. But we waited until you got home, and then we went to sleep. And I just remembered, like, that was one of the moments when I noticed um, that I guess you were really important to me. Even if it wasn't at the time romantic feelings, it was immediately when I knew that you were a really special person to, I guess, the way I thought about you.
I feel like
Waking up on like an hour of sleep and then staying up like 8 hours until you got home to go to bed.
I feel like having a person that really helps you with the things that you're going through is
Yeah.
like something that is very important, because having someone that's toxic can, or just being in a toxic relation in general for yourself is like not healthy, because like
Yeah.
I don't know, I feel like you should have someone that can like, I'm making a weird hand motion like back and forth, you know what I mean, like
Yeah.
can help you
I know
grow
what you're trying to say
together.
too.
Like not,
When
yeah, I don't know.
when you're somebody that has negative thinking and bad things, you need somebody who's able to help push it forward. I
Yeah,
don't know,
not
it might
backwards.
sound selfish,
I
but I don't think of it as selfish. When you
I
just
mean,
need somebody that can help push you forward, and then you could push them forward, and it's just like
I think
a support.
because all my dating like stuff and even relationship stuff like friendship and stuff, like
Yeah.
I I usually put people in like in front of me, like I put
Right.
them first is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
And there it is, it's true that you need to like think about your, like wait and think about yourself and see what you're doing to yourself,
Yeah.
because you can't help people if you just keep doing
Because when we
it.
met, you didn't do that at all.
Yeah.
You put everybody in front of your own thinking and your own, I guess, thoughts and feelings, and I just didn't let you do that after.
Yeah.
I just eventually made you stop and think about yourself for a bit. But eventually, a time came where you knew that you needed to break things off with Timmy Jimmy,
Yeah.
and at that point, me and you were already in a call all day, every day.
Yeah.
Um, and we were like, just, I don't know. I guess at the time I would consider we were just best friends. And you decided that you needed to break things off with Timmy Jimmy, and you did that. You like worked through that for a few weeks and figured that all out. Do you remember some of the things that were going on during that time, or?
It's a lot of it's a fog to me, but
Yeah.
I was crying a lot. I know that. I
Yeah.
cried to you a lot about it, even though he
Yeah.
is toxic. And I was angry and a lot of emotions. But
Yeah.
I would sneak off and talk to you at night, because he was
Yeah.
really. I don't like shit talking people on this channel, because I don't like.
Well, I mean, the best way to say it is he was controlling of the
Yeah.
things you did.
And so he would, it's really creepy, but he would want me to, like, it was in person, me and Timmy Jimmy.
Right.
I would see him every weekend. But, I lost my train of thought. Okay, so, like,
He would
he would be in Skype, he would want me to, like, be in a call with him and go to sleep on Skype with him. and
Yeah.
he would not want me to mute. I would literally have to
Right.
wait like 20 minutes for like just him to sleep, and he'd like he I knew what he was doing. Like he was like, "Oh, I don't hear you breathing. Oh, it worries
Yeah.
me, Bree. Oh." And
Yeah.
I knew he knew that he thinks I'm muting and he doesn't want me to go off and be talking to other people. And
Right.
so I was I'd wait, I'd mute, I'd get in a call with you and Max, and I would be happy.
Yeah. One of the worst parts of it that I remember was, um, you made a new Skype
Yeah.
because he didn't want you to talk to your old friends,
Mhm.
and so you made a new Skype and you added a bunch of new people, like 20 or so
I
people,
had to delete Goober. I had to delete my
and
really close like online friends.
I remember every day, like her Skype contacts would be less and less because he would have her delete the people that he didn't like or the people that he didn't trust her to talk to or that he just didn't want her to talk to.
It went to the
And it
point.
wasn't necessarily bad people or bad people for her. For instance, one of them, Goober. You guys know Goober from
I've
some of our
known him for
videos. He's
like
a good guy, and she's known him for
2 years.
years. He's one of the people that he would make her remove. And then eventually it came a time where he told you to remove me and Max.
Yeah, that was
And I was like, well, crap.
the
Because I don't know if she will or won't, but luckily you decided not to.
the point where I wanted to call it off was when it was like specifically this. I wanted to make an art shop on
Right. On
forums.
the Windcraft forums.
I
Right.
wanted to make a shop, and it was there was no shops because I played on a game, whatever, that was a forum-based game that had art shops, and it had a specific
Right.
thread for art shops. And so I was like, all right, I'm gonna make an art shop, and it's gonna be super cool. I'm gonna format it, and he did not want me to do it. It went to the point where he didn't want me to do art because it was getting in the way of quote unquote our
Right.
relationship.
That's one of the things that I never
And so
understood was he didn't want you to even draw anymore because he said it got in the way of your relationship.
so I was like, all right, this has to not happen anymore
Right.
because I clearly wanted to. I couldn't do the things that I truly wanted to do. And so once we called it off, or yeah, whatever. I don't know who did it,
Yeah.
but anyways. I made the art shop, and it was the first art shop on
Yeah.
the forums, I believe. There was like another like a pixel thing, and he wanted
Right.
money for it, which I cost mine. And then this guy was like, "Oh, I don't think you could do that, but you could do that." And so I made a huge one of
Yeah.
of my art, and I loved how I did that, and I love how
Yeah.
other people did that too. I thought that was really cool, and I felt accomplished. I was like, yes, I made people
Yeah.
want to give their art away, because there was this person on forums. I'm sorry, I'm ranting so much.
No, you're fine.
There was this person on forums that I messaged. They messaged me asking for my Skype, and I looked up to this artist, and
Right.
some people know of it, but
Yeah.
I'm not gonna name names.
Right.
And I I messaged them. I was like, "Hey, do you do art trades?" And they just sent back the most selfish response and said,
Right.
I'm much more important than that, or whatever. You
Right.
might not be as important as I am, is exactly what they said to me, or whatever.
Yeah.
And art prestige, and that I shouldn't be showing off my art, and for my art to be, if my art, if I want my art to be more like quality or whatever, is to simply not making art. And I was like,
Right.
that's not something I would do. And so they're like, oh, I saw you have an art shop or whatever. You might not be as self-important as I am, but
Yeah.
you might not want to do that. And I was like, whatever. And me doing an art shop had branched off to inspire, or I think inspired more people to make art shop, which is really what I wanted to do. And I wanted people to like just I don't get that for people to say that. Like, I feel like if you're an artist, you should show it. You should put it out there and show people that, hey, I can make some cool stuff, or whatever,
Yeah.
or just I like how people can spread their own art to other
Yeah.
people. That's what the forums is for. But yeah.
But heading back to, I guess, you being restricted to do things, we should mention that it eventually came to a point where he said that you couldn't be in videos anymore,
Yeah.
in our videos. So if you
we
guys have been subscribed for a long time, then you might remember that Brie was in a ton of quest guides, and then she wasn't for like weeks. And then when things eventually got split up and you decided that you wanted to be on YouTube and you wanted to be in the videos and you wanted to record with me again, you started.
we
And I
binged.
remember that night we went and did General's Orders quest guide and then like 6 or 7 other quest guides. And then you were in like every guide, and then eventually you were in like every guide and Archer play, and then eventually you were just in every video. And I loved it. Like, I went from being depressed and not wanting to make videos to having this drive to make videos again. The same drive that I had when I first started doing YouTube. So it was like you rebirthed my channel, I guess. All right, sorry about that. So I got a call and had to take a break. So
Wow, terrible person. Just kidding.
I know I'm a terrible recorder. Can you believe how unprofessional I am? And they call me a YouTuber. So you were in General's Orders, and you were in a bunch of other quests, and then you were in the Archer playthrough, and then you were just in everything. And like I said, it revived my channel and gave me this regrowth, and people could hear it right away. They're like, well, he sounds a lot happier, I wonder why.
Then we got
I was
depressed.
like, I don't know. And then we got depressing again, apparently. People said we were depressing again. But you were in the Archer playthrough, and I remember a very particular Archer playthrough. Do you remember this?
No. What?
I
Well,
don't think-
you're not telling me which one, so how can I remember it?
Well, it's right down there on our list of things under General's Orders. So
Oh, okay.
you had been single for a few weeks now, but we had been talking at this point for months, 3 months or so, every day,
I'm sorry,
like-
guys. We were just desperate. No I'm joking.
12 hours a day. Like, we would just like freaking clinging to each other immediately, and we weren't dating, but like I was like letting her know that I liked her, and she was doing the same as also.
Because I'm a desperate. No I'm joking.
Oh gosh. And eventually one day in the Archer playthrough, she was like, she said something, and she was like, oh god, you gotta cut that. I was like, okay. She's like, never mind, screw it. You want a date? I was like, oh, I'm back on the island, I'm still recording. She's like, oh my god. And then she was like, you can leave it in, I don't care. I uploaded it, and people were like, whoa, what? Whoa, 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 whoa.
Whoa.
And we recorded that in the morning, and that very same night, March 20, I guess it's, okay, technically it's March 25th, but it happened at like 11 o'clock at
1
night my time, 1 o'clock in the morning her time, so it's technically the 26th is our anniversary. We were watching Walking Dead or a show or some movie or something, and I said, oh, hey, does that mean we're technically dating now? And she was like, no, you gotta ask me if we were gonna date. And I was like, oh, okay. Hey, do you want to date? And she was like, yeah, I do. And so then we were dating after that. And we kind of kept it private for a while. Just kept it to us, which resulted in some problems because that person from before, Wiggly Biggly, or whatever we named that second person,
I think it was.
came through and made it this huge problem. And they were like, Heap is cheating on Bree, because they were like, they knew I was dating somebody.
Oh my
My
gosh.
friends. Yeah, my friends knew I was dating somebody. So I told Bree, I'm like, they know I'm dating you. And they're like, she was like, no, just tell them you're dating somebody IRL. And I was like, oh, okay. And so I was like, yeah, I know this girl IRL that I've been dating for a while. And then eventually this person was like, wait,
Forgot about this.
he's been flirting with Bree? And he's got a girlfriend IRL? He must be cheating on Bree. And they made it this huge deal, and they told everybody that I was cheating on Bree and that I was this scumbag and all this stuff. And then Bree was like, well, actually, the girl that he's been dating IRL is me. We just use that as a cover-up. And they were like, oh, okay, I'm just making sure. It's not good to keep secrets, even if it was just us
And then
talking to each other. So
rumors spread that you're a pedophile.
yeah, and
all
then people
stuff.
said that I was like, not people. The same person told people that I was like 31 years old and that Bree was like 12. And actually, like I hadn't even turned 20 at the time, so I was like, oh no, I'm 19. People were like, oh, okay, never mind. And yeah, it just eventually died down after people realized that it was a stupid thing and that I was actually 19 and not in fact 31 years old. And then it just kind of cooled down and then went into this really good state, and everything changed. And we went through like this second growth period, right? You had your art shop. It was going crazy. And at the time, you started doing vlogs on your channel. And you had like 200 subs and you were getting like 600 views, 900 views of vlog. So that was insane. You were growing really quickly. And then even after that, you stopped uploading and still continued to get subs. And you just passed 300 a few weeks ago.
I don't know why.
My editing changed a ton. Bree helped me learn how to edit a lot better, and she helped me make thumbnails. And so the quality of my videos just got so much better, like 300 times better. Editing changed, vlogging. I mean, she opened up the first art shop, and that went crazy. Now everybody has art shops, and so that was insane. And just all this crazy stuff happened, and then we went into this like coasting of great times for months, until August. And then eventually I told Bree one day, I was like, hey, you're in every video, right? Why don't you just become part of the channel? Why don't we just change your name, change the art, and it'll just be our channel instead of mine? And she was really hesitant on it for a while, but eventually I convinced her to do it. And then I think it was August 9th is the day that we have written down, because I don't actually have the exact date. I didn't save the exact date, but I know that it was sometime after that, that we made in a video on the Archer play announcing that we had joined the channel, or that she had joined the channel, and that the art was changing and all those different things, and that we were going through some changes. So what were you thinking during that time? Was it like nerve-wracking, or what was up?
It was nerve-wracking, and I was really scared that people would like hate the channel, which probably some ended up did, because why is this random girl on here, freaking squeaky voice? Oh my gosh, Bree's ears pierces my
Bree's ears
Bree's
pierces
voice.
my voice.
Bree's whatever. Okay,
Yeah, I gotcha.
I don't know. I was really hesitant, like you said, and
Right.
I didn't know what was gonna happen, and
Right.
I ended up liking it because I liked having some little thing to keep my head doing something, and it was with you, so it was fun.
Yeah.
I was
So
okay with it in the long run.
this month, January, so we're recording this early, I should say that. We're recording this on the 11th, but we just realized tomorrow is Bree's 6 months of doing YouTube.
Yeah.
So you've been doing YouTube regularly for 6 months now.
With you, yeah.
Yeah. Is it like, I don't know, how did it turn out? Are you happy with the way it's been going?
I'm happy with it. I don't like sometimes, because I'm not really used to it. Just commenters and stuff. I don't know how PewDiePie does it. I don't know how the big YouTubers does it. But I mean, if you're gonna be like a YouTuber, you're gonna get like some sort of trolls, some sort of haters, some sort of hate. So I'm like, I gotta get used to it. I'm like, yeah, people think my voice is squeaky and
it took me a while to get used to it. Like you said, it just takes some time. It's weird to sit there and someone say something mean about you and you just not being able to do anything or react to it. But eventually you realize that it just doesn't matter. And then it's like, oh, I don't really care. I mean, they came here, they took time out of their day to come to my video that I made, to sit here and watch it and then make a comment about it. Yeah. So, I mean, at the end of the day, you're winning if that's happening.
And at the end of the day, I deafened a person, so.
You did. You deafened a person. You pierced their ears.
So they don't have to listen to it anymore. So it helps me and them, because now they have to, like, do sign language and stuff, so.
But it's been months since we've had any problems on YouTube or dealt with any drama or anything.
Yeah.
And it's just gone into this super zen, really nice stage where we're just kind of creating things and trying new things and experimenting around, and we're going through this big growth period, and things are going great actually right now. And something really big is coming up really soon.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, January, February. Okay, 2 months. 2 months from
Two
this
months and
upload.
15 days.
From this upload, we're gonna be
Oh, for
having
my
our year anniversary.
Yep.
So we will have been dating for a complete year. That'll be the longest relationship I've been in.
Not
And
for me, though. When I was 12, I dated a guy for like a year and a half. That's so.
well,
Like, damn, 12
we
year
gotta
old
beat
Brie.
that. 12-year-old Brie was dedicated, but we're getting close to a year being together, and everything's been going super smooth. And we've planned for our first time going to go meet, right?
Yep.
So in the beginning of June, I'm gonna be flying out to Pennsylvania, and I'm gonna be staying with you for like a week or two, meeting your family and everything like that. And then you're gonna fly back here
For
to
like
Colorado for a month, and then I'm gonna fly back for like another 2 weeks, and it'll be this really cool time where we'll get to know each other's family a little bit more. We already do. We already do get to talk to each other's family and stuff like that, and we got lucky because both of our families, I guess, like each other, and they don't have any problems. And like my mom and her mom talk now, and
yeah,
cool,
like daily. Like they take
yeah,
paragraphs to each other. They're
yeah,
like
they talk as much as freaking me and
BFFs.
Bree do now. But we're gonna meet, and we got a bunch of big stuff scheduled for that, don't we?
Yeah, we do.
We got my face reveal in June, don't we? So this is how I thought it was probably gonna work, and this is probably what we're gonna do. I'm gonna fly out to Pennsylvania. We're gonna record this massive vlog. Me on my trip to Pennsylvania,
Just
her
like I
getting
did
ready
with
to pick me up,
Smuffy, but-
just like she did with Smuffy, but huge.
Man,
I'm gonna record vlogs before we even go, before I even leave, all this type of stuff, and then that will come out later. But when I'm in Pennsylvania, me and her will sit down and we'll do a nice face reveal video and talk a little bit and explain what's going to happen. But we're going to be doing a bunch of vlogs. Brie wants to just vlog all the time when I'm in Pennsylvania and when she's out in Colorado. So there'll be a cool, I guess, 2-month period where you'll be getting a ton of vlogs on the channel, which is weird for my channel to say that. But yeah, that's what's going to happen. Are you excited for a meeting? What's going on?
I am excited.
You think you're going to be able to edit some really nice vlogs for us?
I think so, yes.
Right, good. Because I want to make sure, because I'm not a vlog editor.
I'm a real good vlog editor. Boy.
Oy. But yeah,
But-
we have things planned out at this point, don't we?
Yeah. People are
Like,
gonna think
we're
I'm crazy.
excited.
It's like meeting my online boyfriend, and then what? She just met her online best friend. What is up with this girl?
She has no real friends. They're all online.
It's true.
Oh. But yeah, we already know what's gonna happen. I mean, I'm at this point in time with Bree now that I know that she's the girl.
Oh.
So
Oh.
yeah. Oh, don't act surprised. We already know this.
What? I am your girl.
Wow! Wait, what? We're dating? Wow!
Hey, this isn't a
But,
glasses commercial.
Oh my gosh. So we got the next few years to figure everything out and get all prepared, and then eventually I'll make my way out to Pennsylvania.
Oh, and I graduate
And,
next year. Okay.
That's true.
all.
You do graduate next year. And then yeah, from there it's just gonna be hopefully insane. I mean, we'll be running the Adventures with HippieSnuggles channel and doing a ton of gaming and a ton of different things and new stuff probably by then, and then maybe we'll even be doing some vlogs and stuff like that, just daily stuff. But I'm so excited for it. It's gonna be amazing.
Ditto.
Yeah, I think that's about it though. That is the complete history, start to finish, of me meeting Bree to now to about to be meeting to one day she'll be my wife. So yeah, I think that's about it. Did you have anything else you wanted to add into it?
I hope no one got deafened by my voice. And
so sorry.
I hope you guys have a wonderful day, because you guys, most of you guys are wonderful. The ones that are not nice are not wonderful.
Some of you are just terrible. Most of you guys are wonderful. But yeah, that's about it for this podcast. We will have another podcast for sure in April, because that's going to be the anniversary of the actual channel. We're going to be hitting 3 years, and we're going to be doing the same thing that we did today with Bree, but we're gonna be sitting down. We're gonna be talking about YouTube. Maybe we can try to get a guest on or something, talk about some people, and maybe we can try to record some segments with people and cut it together. That'd be pretty cool. But that's basically gonna do it though for now. Thank you guys so much for watching. I have been Hippie, and
And
I
I'll
will see you
see you
guys
guys
next
next
time.
time around.